Hey friends, I hope your week is off to a great start. Today I'm going to share with you a recipe for a Flu Fighter smoothie that's super high in vitamin C. If you've been on the channel for a while, you probably remember my green superfood smoothie that I shared with you a while ago. It is still my daily go-to. I'll link that right here so you can check it out. However, with cold and flu season here, I feel like extra vitamin C can't hurt, right? So I've really been enjoying mixing up my smoothie routine with this new recipe. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. The first thing you need is some sort of liquid. I like to use coconut milk because I always have it on hand. If you don't have coconut milk, any liquid except for juice would be a really good substitute. We do have quite a few sweet things going on in this recipe, so orange juice or apple juice is really just going to put this over the top for sweetness. Next up, let's cut up a carrot and get that in here. So I don't peel my carrots, I just cut off the tops and the tips. Next up is a Cara Cara orange, and I'm just slicing off the top and the bottom to get a flat surface to work with, and then using a knife just trimming around to take off the zest and as much of the pith as possible. If you don't like Cara Cara oranges, you could substitute this with a blood orange, or even just a plain navel orange would be just fine. Next up is ginger. This is a little bit of a controversial ingredient in smoothies because a lot of people don't like spice. However, I do like spice, so I use quite a lot of it here. I used to always prep my ginger by scraping the outside skin off using a spoon. However, I saw videos from both Chris Morocco and Andy Baragani where they recommended cutting the outside skin off using a knife to remove some of the bitterness that sits directly below the surface. So ginger is quite tough, so I'm going to cut this up into kind of smaller pieces that'll be a little bit easier to break down in the blender. And so you can see I'm using quite a lot of ginger here. You don't have to use this much, even just like a ½ inch piece of ginger would be fine. And now before we move any further, I'm going to quickly blend this mixture just because the carrots are hard, the ginger's hard, we've got a giant chunk of orange in there. So I'm going to get that mostly broken down and then we'll add everything else in. Next, we'll add in all the extras. So whenever I have a smoothie, it's as a meal replacement. So that's why I have all of this stuff. So first up, chia seeds, some collagen. This is animal collagen, however, there is plant-based available, as well as some vanilla protein powder. And adding the protein powder is really critical for me because this is what helps keep me full from breakfast at 7 a.m. until lunchtime. All right, and then last we're adding in some turmeric, which we are pretty much there right now. The last thing to add in is the ice. And when I make smoothies, I don't use ice because it waters down the flavor. So instead I've got frozen fruit. So I've got some frozen pineapple here, as well as half of a frozen banana. We'll pop this lid on and just blend this till it's smooth. And this is the finished product. So you can see it's nice and smooth. Let's give it a taste. Perfect amount of spice from the ginger. Nice and subtly sweet, exactly how I like it. If you find this to be a little bit too spicy or you're looking for a little bit more sweetness, you could always dial back that ginger or add some honey or agave in here and just sweeten it up a little bit more to your liking. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give me a big thumbs up and click subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week.